will follow with, this is the middle of, okay. I'm bringing you today some key metrics from our program in a very condensed short time. Several other speakers and colleagues will share about the results of the stakeholder focus groups, the people studies. I will bring you the metrics and also show you some use cases, how our data platform will serve us in the long run to help the local creative actors flourish in the future as well. Raluca mentioned their scope of grant distribution. I think it's one of the heaviest part of the program to create a legal framework and an IT structure to manage over 1,000 grants in about 20 rounds of calls, joining in public actors to help contribute to the whole of the programming. 50% of the grants were distributed in the region, the others were in Veszprém. The colors represent all these 20 different topics that helped to lay down the foundation of the cultural infrastructures renewal, the capacity building, and the cultural program itself. Our grant final reports showed us some numbers of the previously mentioned horizontal criteria to make the events and the venues visitor-friendly in terms of accessibility, environmental protection, child-friendliness. You see the amount of volunteer hours, over 40,000. We know that these are only the documented ones, and there were, in reality, way more. The 425 European partners is a sum of the total of the documented partnerships of our grant partners. Over 1,300 Hungarian local NGOs were brought in to make the programs really about the local residents and the engaging of the visitors. Over 3,700 events distributed almost equally throughout the calendar year and also in the region, really showing the efforts to combat seasonality. You can see the one cake shows how it comes back. We can't look away that we are also City of Music by UNESCO. Majority events were attracting visitors in that row. Telecom mobile phone data helped us to observe the change of the historic inner city of Veszprém being vibrant again, especially in the evening hours, which we consider really a proof of additional visitors to the inner city thanks to the programming. You see the graph from January to December with the opening ceremony and the street music festival, but really almost every single night, not only on Tuesday nights, the visitor numbers make us quite proud. Even from the furthest areas of Hungary, over 15% visitor increase is measured. And of course, our strong touristic destination or sources of visitors, Germany and Austria's numbers were increased as well. For international guests, the Hungarian National Data Supply Center for Tourism collects data on a daily basis. Accommodation providers can benchmark themselves, but we also as an organization receive these data and hope in the long run for the city marketing and branding team to really represent this and help to dive into it. How can we, with this centralized program calendar that is already in our hand, reach better audience numbers on the long run? Veszprém is dependent on seasonality. Balaton tourist needs to be reached. Residents in the proximity of Veszprém needs to be reached, really to guarantee the flourishing sustainability of Veszprém's cultural infrastructure. So we hope that with this tool, in the long run, we can monitor and plan and reach tourism numbers better or visitors better. How were ticketing data used? Just a snippet of how the factory yard concerts that took place from May to September in a countable rhythm. The pre-purchased tickets information was used to organize transportation region-wide so that guests have a safe return to their neighboring settlements. The number itself is beautiful also because 99% Hungarian participation. We see in the 1% of foreign participation that over 52 countries visited the concert last year alone. The 2 new public spaces, 2 of the many, that are opened on the long run as well. One set up in the university campus, one set up in the housing estate in the rural area, helped us to lay the ground for the population surveys and the strategic planning of the neighborhood's long-term development. Then this is basically the platform itself, our data-driven system that we understood that having a program calendar for the purpose of the title year to help visitors scan and find their favorite events can serve as a long-run tool to organize culture and support decision makers, support the visitors to find the offering what they really need. So now we have a program calendar on the long run with an integrated ticketing system that gives us good data and a city card system that shows on the long run what are in every single neighborhood in Veszprém the most wished, most wanted, most interesting services of the city. This can help us to fuel future decision-making. And short, but I'm overstretching my time. Thank you for the partners who help us to go on the long run. And thank you.